All right, let's dive deep into John 4.154.
Sounds good.
This story's got it all.
It does.
Jesus, a woman at a well, a conversation that just explodes with meaning.
You think it's simple on the surface,
You do.
but there's these layers.
Yes.
It can really challenge us.
Oh, absolutely.
And inspire us.
Okay, so first off, Jesus is traveling through Samaria.
And that's a big deal.
Huge. For a Jewish man back then,
Oh, yeah.
it would have been like crossing a line, like an
Okay.
invisible border
You said it.
into this land of the other. Yeah.
Exactly. Like walking into a room and like everyone's staring at you
Oh, yeah.
because you just don't belong.
Totally.
Jews and Samaritans, they had like this deep animosity.
Yeah.
Centuries of history, religious disputes, all that.
So much baggage.
So much. They avoided each other
Like at all costs, right?
at all costs,
Yeah.
whenever possible.
So just him being there in Samaria,
Bold move.
bold move. And then he stops at Jacob's well, and that's not just a random pit stop.
No, not at all.
Tell me about it.
This is Jacob's, well, like steeped in history,
Oh, yeah.
a symbol going way back to the patriarch Jacob.
Okay.
So it's already hinting at
It's
something deeper than like all those cultural divides.
fascinating. So then we have the Samaritan woman entering the scene.
Yeah.
Just an ordinary day, right?
Probably thinking that, yeah.
Coming to draw water.
And bam, there's Jesus.
Like there.
And he does the most unexpected thing.
Okay.
He asks her for a drink.
Whoa.
A Jewish man talking to a Samaritan woman
No way.
in public. Huge. It just breaks all the rules.
Like he's purposely turning things upside down.
Yes.
Saying, I see you. I want to engage with you. Even when everyone's saying don't.
And her response is perfect.
It is.
She's like, how are you, a Jew, asking me, a Samaritan woman, for a drink?
She's basically saying, you're not supposed to talk to me.
Right.
Like, hello, cultural barrier here.
Exactly. And that's where Jesus introduces this idea of living water.
Okay, so she's thinking literal water.
Of course.
H2O.
But he's talking about something way deeper.
I gotcha.
Spiritual fulfillment, that deep satisfaction.
Okay.
That only comes from connecting with God.
Makes sense.
It's contrasting with the temporary, the earthly stuff,
Yeah.
the things we're always chasing,
Right.
but never quite get us there.
I love that. It's like he's taking something we all know, water,
Everyday thing.
and making it into this powerful symbol.
Exactly. He's saying, you're thirsty for more. I can give you that.
And she's curious. She's like, sir, give me this water so I won't be thirsty. I won't have to keep coming back here.
But then it gets even more intense.
Yeah, things shift.
When Jesus reveals her past,
Whoa.
he knows she's had 5 husbands.
Yeah.
And now she's with someone who isn't her husband.
That's like total honesty right there.
A moment of truth. He's looking right into her soul.
And that's what opens her up
Mhm.
to seeing him as a prophet.
Right. It's like her skepticism just melts away.
She sees him in a whole new light.
She's not just talking to some random Jewish guy anymore.
No.
She's encountered someone who sees her.
Knows her
Yeah.
deeply.
But still offers her this incredible gift.
The living water.
Yes.
And from there, they have this amazing conversation about worship.
where it should happen, right?
Yeah. She brings up this age-old debate, Samaritans and Jews.
Mountains versus Jerusalem.
Right.
But Jesus, he just transcends that.
He does.
Like, God is spirit. His worshipers must worship in the spirit and in truth.
It's about the heart, not the location.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it leads to this incredible moment.
I know, the anticipation is building.
She's anticipating the Messiah.
Yes.
She says, I know that Messiah, called Christ, is coming. When he comes, he'll explain everything to us.
And then,
Jesus, so calmly, says, I who speak to you am he.
chills. It's like the whole conversation was leading to this point.
It was. The woman who just came to get some water is face to face with the Messiah.
The one who can truly quench her thirst.
Exactly.
And right then, the disciples show up.
And let's just say,
They're a bit surprised.
a bit, to find Jesus deep in conversation with the Samaritan woman.
It just goes to show how strong those societal barriers were
They were.
and how radical Jesus was being.
He was.
Just by engaging with someone who was considered totally off limits.
He challenged all those prejudices.
Just by talking to her.
He's not just talking the talk.
Yeah.
He's walking the walk.
Showing real love
Real acceptance.
in a way that would have been unheard of.
Totally unheard of.
And then, the woman, totally changed by this encounter, leaves her water jar behind and runs back to the city,
She's like shedding her old life.
leaving behind the things that defined her.
Now she's a messenger.
A herald of good news.
Exactly.
I love it. And that's where we'll pause for now. But imagine the impact of this one conversation.
I know. From cultural tension to divine revelation, and it's about to spread outwards, affect a whole community.
We got to come back for the rest of the story.
We do. It's amazing, right, how this encounter just changes everything.
It does.
We go from this super personal conversation to
Yeah.
her going out there telling everyone,
Right.
and then boom, we're with the disciples.
Yeah, it's like all this energy moving outward.
Totally. And they're all, Jesus, you gotta eat.
Concerned about him. Yeah.
Worried about his physical needs.
But his response is so interesting.
It is. He says, I have food to eat that you don't know about.
What's he talking about?
It's not about his stomach.
No.
No, it's about his mission. Doing what God wants.
Oh.
It shows us, like, Jesus is driven by something deeper.
Deeper than just physical needs, right?
Exactly. It's like he's saying, my nourishment comes from somewhere else.
I love that.
And then he uses this image of a harvest.
Okay.
He tells them, look up, see those fields? They're ripe for harvest.
What does that mean?
Those fields, they're people's hearts, ready to hear the good news.
Ah, so much potential.
So much, like this huge field ready to be gathered.
Really makes you feel the urgency.
It does.
Speaking of potential, we see the woman's words starting to work.
They do.
People from the city, they start to believe in Jesus.
Just from what she said.
It's pretty amazing.
It is. Sometimes the best way to tell people about Jesus
Yeah.
is to just share what happened to you.
Be real. Yeah.
Speak from the heart about what you've seen, what you've heard.
I get it.
It cuts through all the noise, all the prejudice.
Right?
They hear her story and they're hooked.
They want to see for themselves.
Exactly. They want to experience that truth firsthand.
And then their faith grows even stronger.
It does. They listen to Jesus and they say, we don't believe just because of her anymore.
Oh, wow.
We've heard him ourselves, and we know he's the real deal, the savior of the world.
Wow. That's powerful.
It is. It shows us that true faith.
Yeah.
It's not just accepting things blindly.
It's more than that.
It's seeking, it's questioning, it's experiencing the truth yourself.
I love that.
And then, just when you think the story can't get any better,
what happens?
we get this whole episode with the nobleman's son.
Oh, yeah. This part always gets me.
Me too. It's like its own little drama.
Inside the bigger story.
Exactly. It's all about desperation, faith, believing, even when you can't see the end.
Okay.
So this nobleman, he travels so far to find Jesus.
He's desperate.
He is begging him to heal his son who's dying.
Oh, wow.
And at first, it seems like Jesus is almost challenging him. He
Right.
says, unless you people see signs and miracles, you won't believe.
Like he's testing him.
Testing him, yeah. Pushing him to say what he truly believes.
But the nobleman doesn't give up.
He doesn't. He says, please, sir, come down before my child dies.
You can feel his pain.
You can. He's just pouring out his love for his son.
So much emotion.
And Jesus, you can tell he's moved by it.
He is.
He says, go, your son will live.
Just like that.
Just like that. And the nobleman, he believes him.
He doesn't argue.
Nope. Doesn't demand proof. Doesn't question Jesus.
Wow.
He just accepts what Jesus said and starts heading home.
That's powerful.
It is. It's like he's surrendering, choosing to trust, even when it seems impossible.
And that's when the miracle happened.
That's when it happens. He's on his way home when his servants come running.
What do they say?
Your son's alive. He's going to be okay.
Oh, wow.
And when he asks, when did he start getting better?
Yeah.
It was the exact moment Jesus said those words.
No way.
Your son will live.
It's like time itself stopped.
It's amazing. It shows us, with God, anything is possible.
And it doesn't end there.
It doesn't. The nobleman, his whole family, they all believe in Jesus now.
That's incredible.
It is. This one moment, this plea for healing, it changed their whole family.
It's like faith spreading outwards.
Exactly. Touching not just one person, but everyone around them.
So we have these two stories intertwined.
We do.
The woman at the well, the nobleman's son,
Both showing us the power of meeting Jesus.
but in different ways.
Yeah. Hers is about breaking down barriers, finding that spiritual fulfillment.
Right.
His is about overcoming doubt, seeing the miraculous.
I see.
And they both point to the same truth.
Which is
Jesus offers something the world can't give.
something deeper.
Deeper. It goes beyond culture, speaks to what we all long for.
I love that.
It's a truth that still matters thousands of years later.
It does. It draws you in with its simplicity and its depth.
Exactly. And it reminds us, even when we're struggling, doubting,
There's hope.
there's hope, there's healing, just waiting to be found.
It's amazing, right? How these stories fit together in John 4.
I know.
Like this beautiful tapestry.
So many layers.
Cultural clashes, spiritual thirst, That bold invitation to encounter Jesus.
And how faith can just transform everything.
And it all happens in such a normal setting.
Right.
Oh,
A
well,
woman getting water.
just a simple chat.
It's like John's showing us
Why
that the
not?
extraordinary, it can
Yeah.
happen anywhere.
Even in the everyday. We don't have to be in a special place
No.
or be some important person.
To experience God.
He's right here
He is.
in the little things.
The everyday
It
moment.
makes you think.
It does.
We can get so caught up
I know.
thinking faith is just for Sundays.
Or like our quiet time.
But John 4 is like, nope.
It is
Faith is for everything.
all of life.
It's like the woman.
At the well.
Yeah. Meeting Jesus.
Changed her.
But it wasn't just about her.
No.
It spread out.
It did.
Changed her whole community.
And even points to something bigger.
What's that?
The whole world being saved.
So powerful.
It is.
It reminds us our faith
Yeah.
is not just for us.
It's not.
It's about sharing
It is.
God's grace with everyone.
Even people different from us.
Okay, so this passage,
Oh, it's got so much in it.
it does.
But if we had to sum it up,
In one message,
what would it be?
I think it's this. Come meet Jesus.
Yes.
Let him satisfy that deepest thirst.
That longing.
And then
Go out and change the world.
be that change.
Exactly. It's
Right.
realizing true happiness.
Yeah.
It's not about stuff.
Or being popular.
It's about God.
Aligning our lives with his purpose.
His plan for us.
And that purpose.
We see it in Jesus.
He's the love, the grace, the mercy.
All wrapped up in one.
And when we meet him,
Our lives are never the same.
it's like a whole new way of seeing things.
A new way of living.
Rooted in love,
Compassion.
forgiveness.
And that changes everything.
Breaks down walls,
Heals what's broken.
brings hope back.
To a world that needs it so badly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into John 4,
It's been a journey.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember?
Go back to this passage.
Okay,
Sit with it.
really think about it.
Ask yourself, what's Jesus saying to me?
How is he inviting me to meet him?
How can I share that living water?
Powerful questions.
They are.
I think this passage,
It's like a well. We can keep coming back.
drawing deeper and deeper meaning.
It reminds us that faith.
It's a journey,
It is.
a lifelong search.
To encounter Jesus.
And let his love change us.
Inside and out.
It all starts with a simple invitation.
Come and see.
And that invitation, it's for everyone.
Everyone.
So as you go about your day, listener,
Remember,
you can find the extraordinary in the ordinary.
true happiness comes from knowing God
And you have the power to bring hope and healing.
to the world around you.
Keep searching, keep exploring
And keep drinking from that living water.
that Jesus offers.
He's waiting.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
And may your journey be filled with Jesus.